By recognizing these areas, traders can confidently determine the direction of price. Traders can confidently determine the direction of price. Right, we'll get rid of that word. Traders can determine the direction of price. Done. Mastering the Charts, Episode 2. Turning Points. Turning points are micro areas in the market where a currency pair, stock or asset has turned direction. When a trader refers to higher highs and lower lows, or lower highs and higher lows, they are referring to the turning points in price. By recognizing these areas, traders can determine the direction of price. So what are higher highs, higher low? What are turning points in price? Now, if you watched my previous video, and I highly recommend that you go and watch the last episode, episode 1, because if you want to be successful in these 5 videos, you have to start at episode 1. You can't skip it, okay? So if you haven't already done so, go watch episode 1. I'll put a link to that in the comment section in this video. Go watch that and it will get you up to speed on where we are now. Now, in the previous video, we were talking about trends, order flow in the market, okay? And typically when price is in an uptrend like this here, okay, it means there's a lot of buying pressure. There's a lot of buying orders in the market, because remember, the only way you can move price is if you buy it and sell it, okay? So if price is in an uptrend, it means there's a lot of buyers in the market buying this particular currency pair, asset or stock. Now, when price will trend in an uptrend or downtrend or even a sideways trend, it will create patterns in candlesticks, okay? The candlesticks will create patterns, and there's various of different patterns out there and shapes, but typically when price is going up, it's going to create higher highs, higher lows, higher highs or higher lows, okay? It's very, confusing to actually do it very quick. Higher highs, higher low, lower highs. But many traders will call these various different things. Higher high could be called a swing high. It could be called a turning point. It could be called a trend up, a pullback, a consolidation area. There's various different terms that traders will use for turning points in the market. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you call them or what traders have taught you to call them. It's been able to recognize them in the market. Now, you will get something like this here. Trend up, pullback, trend up. Now, what we're going to do is going to head over to the charts now, because we're going to break it down and go into a little bit more deeper. Because remember what I said about the only way you can move price is if you buy it and sell it. And when you get an uptrend like this here, you get a pullback. Well, that means that price is going down. So there's sellers in the market. Well, how can there be more sellers in the market than buyers if price is in an uptrend? And it is a subject that's very confusing for beginners, because, you always try and want to trade with the trend, but you kind of feel that you don't. You always take a trade and you're like, that wasn't with the trend, and I end up losing the trade. So in today's video, and what we're going to do now is going to jump on the charts, and we're going to put what we learned in the first video with trends and moving averages, and we're now going to start to mark up higher highs and lower lows to be able to use candlesticks as well as moving averages to determine the direction of a trend. So let's head over to the charts now, and let's teach you all about turning points in price. I genuinely believe if you watch these 5 videos, these 5 episodes on how to master the charts, I genuinely think you will be successful after it. If you put the time and effort in, you watch the videos, you take notes, you simulate. By the way, I'll put the link to the simulator that I use in the description below. There is a free version and paid version. It is definitely worth investing into because it just massively speeds up your learning process. You can do a lot of simulation, you can simulate strategies, and you can just do what I'm doing this in the video. The more you spend on the charts, the better you will become. So yes, we're on the charts now, EUR USD 1 hour charts, and like in the previous episode, I've added a 50 moving average. Okay, and like before, if price is in an uptrend, we're looking for buys, and if price is in a downtrend, we're looking for sells. Okay, now we're also going to include something else now, and that is called turning points, higher highs, higher lows in the market, using the candlesticks as well to determine a direction of a trend. So rather than just looking at a moving average now, we're going to start to include candlestick patterns. Now, for the time being, I want you to focus on one time frame. You're a beginner, you want to be successful. So let's start off on one time frame, and then throughout the next videos, we will start to introduce multiple time frames as well and start doing a top-down analysis. Now, I don't just want to chuck you in the deep end and confuse you. So let's start off in the middle and work out. Okay, so let's focus on one time frame now and then work out. So EUR/USD 1 hour charts. Now, just by looking here, we can see we're in an uptrend, which tells me what? There's a lot of buying pressure in the market. There's a lot of orders, right? There's a lot of people buying this particular currency pair. And if we look at the actual candlesticks itself, it is creating higher highs and higher lows. So I'll just mark them up here. You got a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Okay, now what, apart from just drawing it like me, to help you gauge higher highs and higher lows, you can actually use an indicator as well to do it for you. If you've got MT4 and go to Insert, Indicators, Custom, Zigzag, this is free, it's literally standard with inside MT4. We change this to black. It will actually plot the turning plots in the market. So you can see here, you've got, it marks up the higher highs and higher lows. Now, I personally don't use this. I just draw it myself because sometimes I think in trading, less is more. You know, the more you actually spend learning it, the better you become as a trader. Now, the question you want to always, or what I'm about to ask, is how come you're in when price is in an uptrend, you will get pullbacks in the market? Like, how can price be pulling back if there's a lot of buying pressure? Because if price would only pull back if there are sell orders, correct? Because price will only move if there's buyers and sellers in the market. So if price is going down, like here, it means that price is being sold at this level. Why is that? Okay, why is this not going into a downtrend and this continues into an uptrend? Let me explain to you now, and this is actually quite simple, and I want you to understand the simplicity of this, okay? Price is in an uptrend, which tells me what? There's a lot of buyers in the market, yeah? So let's say an institution, or you, me, or my mom, my dad, I don't know, your cat, your dog, your hamster, buys the market here. Price goes up 20 pips. What are you going to do now? You're in a trade, it's gone up 20 pips. You're going to close the trade. You're going to take profit, aren't you? Why would you not? Okay? Because you made some money. So if you are in a trade and you start closing that position, you start selling that position off, what do you think happens? Price pulls back, doesn't it? Because nobody's buying now. Everybody's selling their position because they've took profit. So that's why price pulls back. Okay? And then it rocketed up again. Now, why did it rocket back up? Because it's simple, basic trading. Price is in an uptrend, and what you're always taught, price trends up, pulls back, buy the market, trend up, pull back, buy the market. You're getting in at a better price. When you see price trending up, you don't just want to buy the trend, right? Just because price is in an uptrend, you're going to buy it. You don't want to do that. You want to wait for the best possible price, okay? If price is going up and going up and going up, you want to wait for price to drop a bit before riding that trend back up. So this is why you get trends and pullbacks in the market, okay? You'll get a trend up, you sell your position, and a trader that perhaps entered late and missed the opportunity down here thinks, yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy again. I'm going to buy here. So they buy, and now they're up 50 pips in profit. Even the traders down here that, you know, that are still holding on to their positions could now be thinking, well, hang on here, I'm now up 100 pips. I'm going to start taking profit, sell my position. And what happens? Price pulls back. Now, what I want to do is teach you to buy at the bottom here. What I don't want you to do is buy at the top here. It's a big beginner's mistake. The worst thing you can do is buy at the top here. So I want to teach you to buy at the bottom here, okay? So what we're going to use is we're going to use 4 points in the market, okay? 4 points. And what do I mean by 4 points? Okay, what I mean by 4 points. Let me first of all bring this on here, and I'm just going to press play on this simulator. And like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I just let me just wind it forward a little bit. Okay, so hopefully price continues into a downtrend, which it does. Okay, here we go there. Okay, so let's look here. Price was in an uptrend. Now price has reversed and gone into a downtrend. Now, apart from looking at the moving average, and we know that price is below the moving average, it's a downtrend. What did the candlesticks tell us that gave us an indication that, hang on here, price is reversing and going into a downtrend? Okay, keep an eye on what I do. Let me move myself out of the way. On the left here, price comes up, creates a higher high, pulls back. There's the higher low. Price comes up, creates a new high. It's higher than this one. Price pulls back, creates a new high. So still, by looking at the points, and remember, keep it simple, trend down and an uptrend looks like this, yeah? See that? Okay, so that's what we're looking for. As price comes up now, okay, it's created a new high because the previous high is there. It comes down there and we think, yep, great, that's the new higher low because there's the previous low, there's the previous low, previous low, previous low. Okay, so all of these points, it might be better to actually mark this up with circles. Okay, so high, 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 low, 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 low. All of these circles are higher, right? All these turning points are higher until we come to here. Okay, and here. If price was going to continue into an uptrend, it would do this: higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Oh wait, we didn't go any higher. We didn't create a new high. We've actually done the opposite. So when we see this here, we want to start to look at the 4 points in price. Okay, the 4 points in price. And the 4 points are 2 previous high and lows and 2 new high and lows. What do I mean by that? Okay, so what we're looking for, let me just bring it up let me try and get you a blank chart so we can actually see. Here, right, let's look at this bit area at the top here. What we're looking for is something like this: higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, higher low, higher high. This is what we're looking for here, the 2 points. First of all, we want to establish the 2 previous lows and high in the market. Okay, remember that, the 4 points. The first 2 are the previous high and lows in the market. So that would be the previous high and that would be the previous low. Okay, because it was in an uptrend at this time here. Here is the new low in the market because it's lower than this one. And this one here is the new higher, lower high in the market. Okay, so we look for these patterns. This pattern here is so powerful when you use this with trends and moving averages. Okay, because this is telling me that we're going into a downtrend. Now you have to have 4 points. You have to. If you don't, then do not think that price is going to reverse and go into a downtrend, because you could have something like this. You could have an uptrend, a pullback, an uptrend, a pullback, an uptrend, right? And then you could have something like this here. This is not here. This is not a point to enter the market, because to enter the market, we would want to see a lower high, right? And the lower high has to be lower than the previous high. Does that make sense? Okay, let me show you on the charts. It's going to be easy, right? Let me show you on the charts, right? And I just want you to keep focused on it. So let me just wait for price to reverse. Let me wait for price to go above the moving average. So see how price is continuing to a downtrend, right? And we're going to mark up all the lows. So lower low, new high, previous high, low, high, low. So you can see what's happening. It's going into a downtrend, right? So this is the lower high. And if this stays below the previous high, this will continue into a downtrend, yeah? Makes sense? So if this low here, or this high, stays lower than this one, it's still in a downtrend, okay? Makes sense? Let's see what happens. Yes, okay? It comes slightly above it, but, you know, it's still at the same level, okay? Now, I'm just going to pause it here. Does it look like now we're going into a downtrend? No, it doesn't, okay? The opposite is actually happening. So see how we've come down? So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Wait. We didn't actually go lower here. We didn't actually go lower. But this is my point. This is why we wait for 4 confirmations. Because we don't buy here. We want to see a switch in trend momentum. We want to see the new high be higher than this one, okay? Because then this would be the new points in the market, okay? The 4 points would be the new high, the new low, the previous low, and the previous high, okay? And see how the high is higher than the previous high. It's confusing me of all these higher highs and higher lows. I've said it so many times in the past 2 minutes now. But yeah, okay, and there that low is higher than that low. So this is what we're looking for, this pattern here. Yeah, this tells us in candlestick patterns we're going into an uptrend. Right? Makes sense? Do we get that? Let's see if we get that. No, and we continue into a downtrend. So you see what we're doing here, right? We're reading price and we continue into a downtrend. Okay, and I'm just going to pause it there. Let's mark up the low. You see the low there? You see the low? So the low is now being formed, and what we're looking for is the lower high. Maybe a pullback. This is just a pullback, remember, because everybody that sold here is now taking profit at this level. Okay, until we actually get more buyers in the market to push price up, then we would take buys with the trend. At the minute, it's still a downtrend, right? This is just pulling back. And you want to keep this concept in your head, because a lot of traders, when they're in the trade, sometimes they panic when price reverses against them and they think, price is reversing, but reality is just a pullback. I've seen so many BD members panic, close the trade off early, thinking that price is going to reverse, and all it's doing is a pullback. Okay, so let's see what happens. We've now got the new low in the market, so if we go any lower, it's a downtrend. If it doesn't go any lower, then it could be an uptrend. That it is honestly that simple. So it looks like the new high is being formed. Okay, here we go here. Great. So we now have the low, we now have the high. Okay, remember, if we're going into an uptrend, we want to see a new high and a higher low, the 4 points, yeah? So old low, old high, old low, new high, new low. Yeah, that confirms we've gone into an uptrend, and obviously by then we'll be above the moving average. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, and we continue into a downtrend. So still no trade, okay? Okay, now it looks like we are, well, hang on here, again, same again, you know, I could be at this all day. New high, new low. Okay, previous high, previous low. See that? So it's still going into a downtrend, yeah? What I'm looking for is to see if we break that previous low which is there. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. If it does, then I know that we've created a new high. Yeah, a new high has been formed in the market. So always look for the previous turning points, higher highs and higher lows in the market, yeah? And do this. I want you to do this as well, okay? Here. It looks like we've just created a double bottom there. So it looks like now we're starting to slow down, doesn't it? Oh, yes. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're getting a switch in momentum. See how we've just gone above the moving average? Previous low, previous high. Is that the new low? See how we didn't go any lower? See how we didn't go any lower? So what I'm looking for now is the new high and new pullback, the new higher low or lower high. Honestly, I've lost count the amount of times I've said this now. Okay, so I'm looking for a new high to be formed, which is just here, there. It's just appeared there. Okay, so for me to take a trade, I want to see a retouch of this level, because if we come down to this level, this would be what? 4 points of contact, the 4 swing points. Okay, previous high, previous low, new high, new low. See how we've got a switching character, some traders will call it, a switching momentum. We're now going into an uptrend. So see how we're using the moving average, we're using the turning points in the candlesticks to gauge what is happening. That, honestly, is about as simple as it's going to be. Watch, if we come back down to retouch this now, right? Let's see what happens if we retouch it. There. Just here. I'm just going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just gonna there we just touched it. See that right? Now when you look at this here, can you see the turning points here? Previous high, previous low, new high, new low. Now a lot of traders are then going to go, well, how do you know this isn't going to continue down? How do you know this isn't going to continue down into a downtrend? Because I will cover it more in depth in the next video, because episode 3 is going to be all about support and resistance and how to draw it properly and how to use support and resistance to get into trades with the trend. But we want that 4 point of contact, because if we didn't create a new high, right, we wouldn't have got the pullback in the market, if that makes sense. Because what we've got here is a downtrend, then we've got a new high, okay, and that new high is has smashed the previous high here, which has just happened here. Yeah, you see that? Okay, so it's very unlikely that price is going to come down and create a new low. You can't really have a new high and a new low being formed at the same time. It's kind of, it does happen, don't get me wrong, but it's very odd for price to come up, take out previous highs, and then drop again all the way back down. Okay, if you can start to spot the higher highs and higher lows, it will give us, but we'll cover this in the next video. I won't go into too depth now, but you'll understand in the next video when we talk about support and resistance. Okay, so we're going to take a trade here, right, and just watch this, right? Watch this price rocket up, and just to allow space, right, I will take a trade with, we'll go for 20 pip stop loss, 200 pip take profit. Let's go for a 200 pip take profit. Okay, so a nice and not, I mean, where's my take profit? My take profit's way at the top, just there. Okay, I'll explain to you in the next video. Okay, hopefully this trade wins. Okay, so it just comes back down and retouches that level. Now what I'm looking for is, again, the typical trend up. So I'm looking for the new high to be broken here. You see the new high? If we break above that, we're going into an uptrend. Okay, and we do. Okay, so we're now going into an uptrend, and again we're looking for that uptrend pullback, uptrend pullback. Yeah, so you see how price is starting to pull back here. That's just a pullback. It doesn't mean panic. Right? What we can do, okay, again here, I'm just going to mark it up again, that level here. See how we got the typical uptrend pullback, uptrend pullback, uptrend. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for price hopefully to come back up to this level here, and if it does, I'll take partials on the trade, which it just has there. Okay, so see how price has come up to this level here. I'm going to take partial on the trade, so I'm going to go to my charts, trades. I'm going to close off a position, or close part of it. There we go. There, I'm going to close off 0.40, close it off, move the other trade to break even, and I'm now in a risk-free trade. I've made 3.5% gain. I'm still in the trade and it's risk-free. Now, see how we've just created a double top pattern? Okay, now this is a sign that we're going to reverse because we haven't created a new high. You see that? It's not created a new high. So if we're going to go into a downtrend, I'm looking for what? I'm looking for a lower low, a lower high. There's the previous high, there's the previous low. Yeah, makes sense? I'm in a trade at the minute, okay? So, this is, I wouldn't say live because it's simulation. There's the previous low. If we break this low now, we're probably going to go into a downtrend, and I'm going to close this trade off, okay? We bounce off it, which I expected anyway, because we bounced off it previously. But now the next question is, are we going to break above it, or are we going to pop a lower high? Let's see what happens. Okay, we bounce straight off this level here. So now we've created, see? When we get this pattern here, I'm closing that trade off. Done. It's finished. I made 3.2% gain. Watch what happens now, okay? Double top pattern. There's the previous low. There's the previous high. Do we create a new low? Yes, we create a new low. Looking for a new high. So there's the new low. I'm looking for a lower high. There's the previous high. What happens here? Do we create a new higher low? Yes, we retouch, and then it looks like we drop. Wait for price to come down. And we, what actually happened here was we had that low just there, but then we obviously got this manipulation here. Price literally decided to take everybody out. But I'm way ahead of everybody. This is about being smart, and I exited the trade before that happened. But yeah, there you go there. That's how to trade. Just remember two things when you end this video. First of all, remember, we're looking for buys if it's above the moving average. We're looking for sells if it's a downtrend, and we're going to start to mark up the higher highs and higher lows. What we'll do in the next video is we'll start to introduce support and resistance and explain or teach you which levels we should be buying and selling from in a trend. So I hope you enjoyed that video. My name is Jamie Palmer, and thank you for watching.